Hi everybody, I'm terribly sorry about my internet connection. Thank you all for coming back. I hope you can see me now, and I'm just going to wait for Riddhi to connect again. I hope you can see me and hear me. If somebody can just let me know, that would help. Yes, thank you, Lavanya. Thanks a lot. I am just waiting for Riddhi. Yeah, she's there. Thank you.
And we're
Yeah, I'm
back.
sorry. Yes, I'm back. Sorry. So, thank you for. I mean, what you were sharing about, yeah, like send us content and follow up before you share it with somebody else. I think that's where we were before we got disconnected. Uh, do you even prefer? I mean, do you think designers can work a little bit on how they sort of package their content and send it?
Right, they can. Um, I wish every designer and every brand also realizes that when you send us a press release, we're not going through the whole thing. We're going through the main highlights, right? You don't need to use so many adjectives. You need to give us the information. That's what's needed. And it's nice that eventually it'd be nice that if the designer also connects to us, even if you have a PR or go between person, connect with us. We get to know your view and insights. That's nice. And and I think there has to be open communication on both sides. And once you get to know what they're all about, what all they can do, and then you work out an exclusive sort of thing which works well for your magazine. Some pretty homes, pretty styling ideas, something that they've done for us and they haven't done for somebody else. So all of those things matter. And at the end of the day, we need our job is to ensure that not only does the architect get covered or designer get covered, but the person reading the magazine gets something new and interesting. 10 years ago also we were covering bathrooms and living rooms, and 10 years later also we'll be covering bathrooms and living rooms. What will change will be the way they are, the way they are, the way they're designed, the materials you're using, and that's what we would like to bring forward.
So,
So
I mean,
it's
being on
that
the other
easy
end
actually.
where you get so much content, right? How do you think homes are changing today in the not post really, still we're still inhabiting the COVID world, but
Yeah.
what do you think is really going to change in the way we occupy our homes today?
So the focus is on the homes. Like all of us are home, right? And you have, like, if you're on a Zoom call, you ensure your backdrop is nice. I mean, these are my office plants that you can see. So you ensure that your backdrop, like what you're seeing behind me, is something nice. Either people choose a lovely textured wallpaper, a corner, a section of your house. So even that little effort, maybe they didn't make that effort in the house earlier, and slowly that now you're realizing this is the new normal. This is where I need my sanitation to happen. This is how my vegetables are going to come in. These are the gadgets maybe I could get. Maybe I should spend on this and not on that. They want to spend more time at home, right? So you want to dress it up well, it looks good. And if there are multiple people using the same space, that let's say that I'm here and maybe right now I'm alone in the room, but if my husband was using another section of the room for his work, then he has to have headphones and it has to be his section. And if you see his section, it's got like Batman and all these kind of things. He really likes all these people. So I share literally, this is one section, in the other section is a stark contrast. And how do they both come together? Right? So same thing for other people. How do both these aspects come together, where they have kids also and they have school and they have, you want your little space where you can unwind, the reading corner. So the focus is home. This is a time when everyone is at home and wants to do it up, from ventilation to lovely lighting, natural light, and sanitation. I think hygiene is one of the major concerns everyone has right now. You know, there are sanitation pods that you can invest in, but it's quite your 40,000, 50,000 rupees to spend. You can have that outside and you walk into the sanitation pod and come inside. Now you have, like, brands have vegetable cleaners, ozonizers. You have those robots that are cleaning your house, so little Zumbas that
Rumbas, yeah.
Roombas
Rumbas.
that do it. So all of these things matter. Like I for one, when I had to do jhadu pocha in my own house, I was wondering why isn't all my furniture on wheels? Because unlike the jhadu wali, I was very into every inch must be clean,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it's
Yeah.
other people also. So
So I mean, I'm sure you are planning, like, as a as a supplement that's focused on homes. I'm sure there is enough content that you would need to source to address an issue like this, right?
right. So
And
we have been reaching out to a lot of architects about it. We are talking to them how to have a happy home. What are the post-COVID homes going to be like? We've got ideas from them. I mean, we've even got on faucets, on how everything's becoming sensor-driven, how home automation is becoming the norm rather than, earlier it was just concentrated between high-end homes. They already had some kind of home automation happening, right? Now you could retrofit, which was there for a while, but people like the brands like
everybody's
Amazon,
down, yeah.
you can
Everybody's not.
retrofit it. You can get like these little switches, and you have this router which comes in the center of your house, and switch, attach your geyser or whatever you want. So wherever you are, it's tuck 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 done. I mean, or invest like Samsung's Bixby. They have a beautiful, beautiful refrigerator. It even does shopping for you. So
Wow. And only I think only you would get to know all the latest sort of innovation and technology in homes today. So, my last question before we take on other questions from the audience here today, in of course from a media perspective, right? The aftermath has also been that people don't want to pick up magazines or newspapers, and there is this fear, right? And also content. There is so much content that is now out in the digital world that how does one distinguish their own content from somebody else's, right?
yeah.
How does one make sure it's not just a bunch of images and a write-up? So what are your views on that? Because while design has gone digital, and like we've been running this campaign at Epicel itself that design goes digital, but how can we ensure that the quality of content and the curation of content that doesn't get impacted, and that we all still have something like sort of more meaningful to say? And how have you sort of adopted the digital sort of technology?
Okay. So since I'm the stylist, I'm the editor, I'm the writer, I'm the janitor for India Home. But so online wasn't something that I was paying attention to before this at all. So whenever we had an intern, the intern would be on our Instagram. I would guide that person, do this, do that, get this, get that, be inspired by this thing, or do that. So we were growing very slowly, and it didn't matter because it was like something we were doing on the side. Okay, we have a digital presence, we are on social media, but not like, oh my god, we have to be on social media. So then as that happened, this little COVID situation, it flipped the switch. So initially I resisted it because there was a lot of work to do, a lot of things we were ideating, doing an issue, redoing an issue. And then suddenly we said, wait, design goes digital. We have to be in the digital space. So we came on with our mini master classes because we didn't want to do what other magazines were doing. So it was a mini master class, not more than 4 minutes. You give out gyan on design, DIY or a design topic, and they started doing really well. So we have on like,
Did really, really
yeah,
well, actually.
on our digital Instagram platform, I think from 2000 now we're almost 14,000 followers.
Wow.
So it's grown that much, and we didn't start when lockdown started. We started maybe 2-3 weeks after lockdown started, because I had that sudden brainwave much later. So one thing is you have to bombard content, and good content. So initially, I think people were watching anything and everything we gave out to them, which was, we got reached out to everybody from influencers to architects to designers to even homeowners. They had something nice to say. But now the people watching your content are discerning people. They're not going to watch, even if you have a lot of followers, they're not going to watch something if it's not up to the mark, or if it's not something that they like.
Or if it's competitive.
Yes, it's very competitive, and you have to stay on top of what's going on social media. It's fickle. They have short attention span, and they want good content. It's like a quick fix solution to everything. I'm not saying that the physical magazine will die out. I don't think it would die out, because you can quarantine a magazine for 48, 72
Yeah.
more hours, like 108 hours also if you want to. But a paper, on the other hand, if you quarantine it for even 48 hours, it loses its relevance. So that way, magazines have it better because you can quarantine a magazine for a bit and then flip and see, and people like doing that. But at the same time, that the physical magazine will have to be very, very strongly juxtaposed with the digital platform, and give them interesting content, give them, make them meet architects, give them DIY, and make them see spaces, make them see homes, and which actually reaffirms our faith. We're in India Today home, and there were times that we complained to the top bosses of India Today that why are we just doing homes? Why not restaurants? Why not commercial spaces? And just design for the sake of design, and beautiful design. And they were like, no, we have to be different. We are India Today home. For us, home is important and people are important. And when we went digital and we put that out, I'm seeing that people like that. One of our most viewed videos is a living room tour by Ghislaine. She's an interior stylist, the Kately home. And her home's a DDA flat. And it's small, but full of ideas. It's got like over 34,000 views.
Yeah.
People want real content, relatable content.
Yes, absolutely. Nobody wants artificially curated content. I think that is the insight that we need. And thank you for sharing that with everybody here, because I feel that a lot of designers and architects also struggle with what to put out. And there's a whole segment of sort of high-end luxury homes. Real homes, in Mumbai, they don't have that much space, right? Everybody is not living in a farm or in Alibag or whatever. So what do you do? And especially in today's context, when you have to have an office space and a private space and a home space, which is for maybe the elderly or the kids in the family, you have to figure all of that out within that one space. I think these master classes have added sort of great insight into, and and I could
but
see
you have to also
that
keep innovating, like even if we just do homes, people are not going to like that. So we have to give them homes, we give them master classes, we give them Q&As with the architects, so get to know your architect a little better. We give them design philosophies, and we have to keep doing it. And it's a hit and trial, that you do it, you see how they like it. And now, like for instance, we have a sister concern, which is India Today Spice. It's a luxury magazine. We're doing a collaborative series with them inside Chef's Kitchen. So it's really interesting. These are like top chefs. We've done Suvir Saran, who is a Michelin star chef, and then we're doing Ranveer Brar now. Tomorrow we're releasing that. So we're trying our best to make sure that the people watching it get good content and interesting content, and it's open to everyone. Of course, I have to say that people are far more demanding on digital than they are on the physical.
I agree.
They're crazy demands. I get shocked by some of the messages I get, like, why was my picture not chosen in your weekend challenge? And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Yes, I understand. See, I've been in fact saying that to a lot of people as well, that actually I think the media teams have been working really, really hard in this time.
Yeah.
There is just, while it was known that, people from a media background and journalists and everybody who was, allied media, they were always timelines, deadlines, issue nikalna hai, print hona hai, all that was happening.
Right.
Now, digital, I think the challenges are even more, right? Because everybody is on social platforms all the time. Everybody's online all the time. You're just connected and you're always looking for new ideas. So I think the responsibility is far bigger now. But I also see the advantage of going online, because it's a repository of information. I may not be looking for ideas today, but I can always go back and look for those ideas, as an end user.
Yeah.
6 months later, I may choose to sort of, do up my home. Or from an architect's perspective also, your project is not just sort of come and gone. It's there on the feed. It's there forever, So anybody who's looking for inspiration, ideas, will always have access to information. So I think, from that perspective, digital is really good. It works for everybody.
Yes.
So, okay, I'm going to just quickly now open up for questions.
Are there any, like, I wonder what would anyone want to ask a journalist? Oh, our good friend Birdie Daz is here. You have to interview her. Like, this is Chumki Bharadwaj. She is our resident spa expert, resident expert on luxury. So India Today Spice is a beautiful magazine that kind of has everybody on it. Like they sometimes do design, they sometimes with the high end part of it. And I get so shocked sometimes seeing the products. I'm like, someone's buying something that expensive.
Okay, interesting. I will definitely reach out to her as well. So I think
Must
we
warn you, she's
lost.
camera shy.
I think we lost some of the questions when my connection went a bit crazy, so I don't have the questions anymore. Lavanya has a question. Lavanya is a regular follower. Thank you, Lavanya. What is the closest to an ideal media package that a publication would find comprehensive while interacting with the design firm? The ideal media kit, if there's any.
I don't think there is a really an ideal media kit, but there's some pointers. Use correct English, make it simple, make your what you're trying to say crisp and clear and precise. Don't use so many adjectives; they're unnecessary. Let your work speak for itself, and understand what the magazine wants. If they want a home, give them a home. If they want a restaurant, give them the restaurant. Give them something new and try and you know, media people are following each other. We're following other magazines. We know what's going on in other places. So respect that and don't try to fool them. Because a lot of people think that they can, but you know, we know. Many times we know and we still may let it go because the project is beautiful, but we appreciate honesty.
I love this. Even when Kamna came on board, she was so honest, and I think this is what is great, right? The idea is that I think there are all these myths about media people and how media works and all of that, and I think the actual process is fairly simple. So if people like you can share that this process is as simple as this, and just make like Lavanya asked, what is the ideal media package? If you get your basics right, you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's really what is needed.
And then follow up, you'll need to follow up because we get bombarded with projects and then we'll tend to forget. So you have to give a certain amount of follow up. But like as my colleague Birdie does, who's on this thing, will tell you, you can't mail us immediately, call us, WhatsApp us, and then we feel like you got us by the neck. So then and if you're the unlucky person, the 10th person to do it, you may get you may not hear us being nice, and that's not who we are. We want to be nice to all of you, but sometimes it's just like we want to say, hey, you can't dictate terms. It has to have some integrity from our end, and it's not an advert. There's a difference between an article and an advert. An advert will go the advert will put a lot of your address, your everything. An article may not, because to maintain the integrity, yes, it will have something where they can reach out to you, but it won't be an advertisement. At the end of the day, it's not an advertisement, and it's not like we can guarantee that people are going to now reach out to you. It has to strike a chord to them as well.
I think somebody else asked this question earlier, and I don't have the person's name anymore.
Yeah.
Do you actually share, our media team sort of okay to share editorial calendars? Because you do have a broad calendar for
Yeah,
the year. I always say that they are.
We are okay sharing the calendar because the calendar is so broad, and if I'm doing a bathroom, another magazine is also doing that bathroom as a topic, and a fourth magazine could also be doing the living room thing that you're doing, but your treatment is going to be so different because when two people writing an article on the same subject is so different. Similarly, even magazines are different, so it's all right. Most magazines share their editorial calendars. What they're not okay sharing is like if they've given you a complete story brief with the detail that this is this, and that reaches out to everybody, that they may not be comfortable with. But
of course,
yeah.
Somebody's also asked, what's your take on sustainable practices in the home and design space?
Okay, ideally an architect answers that, and I must say that I get a lot of these. How do I design my house? And I only know expensive things because in my magazine you tend to go for brands. It's not like I'm making a chair or a table, but I think sustainable practices are the need of the hour. There are amazing brands doing amazing things, like from Architecture Bureau to Sanjay Puri to almost everyone, like Furniture. For example, it's a brand and they make beautiful furniture from wood that is like found wood. instead of cutting down trees. There are people who are making things from bamboo, like Sandeep Sangru, who's won a lot of awards also down south. So yes, sustainability, I see a lot more in terms of innovative sustainability from architects and designers down south. And I don't know how they've embraced it far earlier than the northern counterparts, but they are doing a really cool job. And I think it's a need of the hour. Like even your brand you handle, Morphogenesis, they have amazing practices for offices as well. And the passive way of saving energy is amazing.
Sure. Somebody's asked a question. Sana Saida has asked a question. This is a very sensible conversation and I'm fully enjoying it. But
Okay.
my question is, what would you suggest to a beginner who's about to set foot in the journalism? Suggestions on content, on what to do and what not to do.
Actually, when you begin, and this is for millennials today, and I keep comparing them to what I was like earlier. We were as much work as you can give us, we would be happy to do it. Now most of them say weekends were not working, which I understand. Even I don't like working weekends, but you have to be out there.
To work on it.
These days we're working all the time. It's weekend, it's day, it's night. Work from home in that sense is kind of crazy. But on other times, that just be open to work and be open to taking on work and be enthusiastic, because when you start out, you're a pain in the ass for whoever you're reporting to. So it's your enthusiasm that really pays off.
I'm going to use that quote. Thank you. I think we're sort of done with the questions. Thank you, Riddhi, for a very, very honest conversation.
Thanks.
I think you've made lives easy for a lot of not just architects and designers, but for a lot of media people as well. And
I hope so.
Thank you for always being so receptive and always willing to share. This was a great conversation. Thank you for coming on board.
Thanks, Tanya.
Have a good weekend with whatever's left of it.
You too.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Okay, I think my pain in the ass comment's gonna hit me in the ass sometime, but
We'll go on. Thank you for being on.
All right, thanks. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.